Hello and welcome back to that Peter Crouch podcast with me, Peter Crouch, Chris Stark and the Notorious SID are with me. All good?
Yeah,
What have you been up to,
very
guys?
good.
What have you been up to? You've been golfing, haven't you?
Where do you want to start?
Well, I'd like to get into your golf.
Yeah, shall
You're
we?
tired today, aren't you?
I am a bit tired. I played, at the time of this recording, I played golf last night for the first time. First time doing a full 18.
Ever? Wow.
Gone straight into 18.
First thing I can say, being new to this, is it's knackering, isn't it? I looked at my watch, I'd walked 6 miles in total around that.
Don't get that over the green egg, do you?
No, you don't. No. Okay, well, where to start with this? So I had some clubs and I think I got sent these years ago. So I dug them out, knew we were doing this. When I got the clubs out, only because I read this message from someone in the WhatsApp group. So I'm part of a WhatsApp group. It's like a dad's golf day thing that I've gone and done. So I've dug these golf clubs out. And there's only in this WhatsApp message that I've seen where it goes, I'll be there from 3:30 to have a beer and a putt if anyone wants to join. I thought, shit, I better check the bag here. No putter.
Oh, no.
So I've somehow bought golf clubs at some point. It didn't have a putter. Is that normal?
Yeah, because you can buy irons, you can buy
Yeah, you can buy them
woods, can't
separately,
you?
but the set should come with a putter.
Yeah. So that's problem number one. So then when I arrived at the golf club, I rang ahead. They've got a shop. I said, do you sell golf clubs? They said they've got loads of them. Turn up in this shop and, sure enough, loads of golf clubs on the wall. Sort of thought, brilliant, I'll buy one. The problem is I'm a lefty. Why is golf so prejudiced against left-handed people?
That's a
There's
good
not
point.
many.
Valid point.
It's absolutely
To be
extraordinary.
fair, when you play golf with someone that's lefty on the tee, you're sort of like shocked.
It's strange. You feel like they're going to hit it at you.
But it's not like illegal in golf to be left-handed. is it?
No, but
Well, why
it's
can't
quite
they
rare.
fucking supply me then with a golf club?
It's a valid point.
It's a very valid point.
Discriminatory.
Do you know what he said to me? I said to him, do you have any left-handed clubs? And at first he just looked at me and went, huh? I was like, left-handed clubs, can I buy a left-handed club? He's like, I don't think we've got any of them. Like as if it was unreasonable that you could sell 100, maybe 200 golf clubs and not expect one person to come in and ask for one that a left-handed person could use. Honestly, it was like I was asking for something that wasn't golf equipment. So he says, he then says, no left-handed golf clubs. So I was like, well, what am I going to do here? First time playing golf with some people I don't know, and I don't even have a putter. So I asked the guy behind the till, he's like, just improvise with one of the other clubs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was his comment.
Well, what else can he say?
So basically, he's like saying use a 3 or 4 iron
Yeah.
to use that as a putter.
Now, what I was really lucky with is one of the guys who worked at this club, I think listens to the podcast or something, and came out to come say hello. And I said, mate, I'm really sorry to ask, but I haven't got a putter. You haven't got any left-handed clubs in the clubhouse anywhere. And he went and looked and he found a child's, like a kid's-size putter, like a crazy golf putter. It had little pictures of animals on it. It was called a puttersaurus.
Oh, God. Fuck off. You went out on your first ever golf round with Puttersaurus.
I had these Strixon bag, right? All these clubs and a puttersaurus.
Wow. John Terry's left-handed golfer. Very good left-handed golfer.
Is he?
Yeah. But you know, he actually started right-handed.
Really?
Yeah, and then he was like, that doesn't feel right. So maybe you might be right-handed.
Why is he transitioned to left?
Which was early on.
Transition.
Yeah, well, why is it? Because it seems an
From
unusual
right to
way
left.
round to go right to left, doesn't it?
I think he was playing right edge, didn't feel
right.
good. Then
Just
someone
didn't
said,
feel
try this,
comfortable.
and he had a left one, and it felt
Isn't
fine.
that funny how that works?
Overall, though, how did you enjoy the experience?
Loved it. Absolutely
Have you
loved
got the bug?
it. The only thing I would say is I whacked a picture up on Instagram about it, and because I didn't really know what you meant to wear for it, I went to Sports Direct before.
You've been getting some heat for your clubber.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who could sort me out some decent clothes would be massively appreciated. They only had Slazenger in the, and that's no offence to Slazenger, but
Fantastic, mate.
lovely
Tennis,
brand.
mate. Mainly.
That's all they had in Sports Direct, but it was ill-fitting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all they had. And the only other thing as well was my shoes. I had what I was told was a golf shoe, but they look almost orthopedic. They look big. They look like I had some sort of issue with my foot going round.
Yeah.
No wonder why he was getting heat on the golf course.
So I don't know. It's
You've got what was it? The dinosaur.
the Puttersaurus.
You had the Puttersaurus.
Pair of Slazengers.
Some sketches.
Yeah.
And he's
They were
playing
sketches,
fucking
to
the
be
wrong
fair.
way round.
Yeah. And I don't
You
want
must
to
have a top flight golf
way,
ball as
I
well.
don't
What was the golf ball?
Dunlop.
Dunlop.
might have been. I don't listen. Here's
Noodle.
the
It's noodle, isn't it?
thing.
Is it a noodle?
I'd love anyone to treat me like a blank canvas with this. All right, like
I can't
as if
laugh at
you're
anyone at
having
golf.
me as a character on a golf game. Right, come at me. Tell me what clothes I need to be wearing, shoes, clubs, anything you can do to help. Because it was my first outing. To be fair, I thought I represent myself all right. But I want to now move through the gears.
Yeah.
But good experience.
Just touching on the golf makes. Well, I say golf makes. It was actually tennis. We had a lad I played with at Aston Villa had a head like a tennis ball. I just remember some of his nicknames: Dunlop Dome, Slazenger Swede, and Head. Head. What nicknames they are? Head. Just while it came into our mind, I had to say it. Amazing.
How do you have a head like a tennis ball?
You know, like a really furry? Like no Joe and the Barnet kind of like furry kind of round head. Yeah, head was my favourite.
Yeah, I think with this golf thing though, because you boys are really into it, and I think the ambition here is at some point I join you for a game.
Yeah. No, I don't think that we are like good. No. Like I can go round. I'd be absolutely terrible. Like so.
I was that the other day. I shot 100 the other day. Weren't afraid to.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, that's pretty poor.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not great.
I was averaging sort of 8 shots per hole.
But at least you're finishing holes. Yeah, I mean,
I was. Yeah, it was, balls. Also, I mean, fucking hell, the Puttosaurus isn't exactly helping me when I. I was getting to the greens all right, but I'm there like I was like you,
fit,
mate. I felt like you. I'll tell you what it is because I'm actually like I'm quite short.
Well, that's
I was using the Puttosaurus, so I was kind of bent right down.
The human pendulum.
The old, like the human pendulum, like the famous picture of
the
you.
Famous picture of me. Yeah. Well, listen, if it works, it works.
We should just do a golf podcast. Really.
Yeah. We basically have there. Yeah. So let's get. Listen, I've got to get into this. Right. I've got to get into this. The messages this week are fantastic. I've got to say this one from I want to say Kian. Yeah, Kian. Right. This is a fantastic nickname. It says, "Hi guys, big fan of the pod. I was at a comedy the weekend and the comedian mentioned he had one of the worst nicknames in school growing up ever. The comedian's name was Mr Brie, so he was obviously given the nickname Dick Cheese."
It's got to be done, isn't it?
I can't imagine being called Dick Cheese. Oh my God. It's me, mate, Dick Cheese.
Do you know what? It's that's up there. That's up there.
The best I've ever heard.
Is the best.
Richard Brie.
There's no way around it because even if you try and get ahead on it and just say my name's Dick Brie, it's like that doesn't
take a rocket scientist to work out that that's a cheese.
Yeah, there's no way of doing it, isn't it? Rich Brie. There is actually no. So I sometimes think in those situations you just got to introduce the middle name. Do you know what I mean? Just to kind of
just change it.
Yeah. Oh God.
We might not double the name.
Yeah.
Can I read this one from Flo?
Yeah.
Hey guys. First off, I want to say I love the pod, guys. I've been listening to it from the US since day one, passing the pod any chance I have, really. But I have a really important question for you, BBQC. What happened to Statman? Don't get me wrong, love the Notorious SID, but I'm in deep need of stats that I can give to my wife on a daily basis. Without him, I'm a bang average, boring fella. Keep up the hard work. I wish I could be at Crouch Fest. It's on my bucket list. Hopefully one day. Back stronger. Flo.
Yeah, it's a good message, this, actually. Legitimate questions. I think this is kind of aimed at you as well, Pete, not just me, the barbecue expert. Where is
BBQC Plus?
Yeah. Please don't start that. Please stop that.
Inclusive of all.
In fact, to be fair, it's just inclusive of all
Cunts.
Quite defamatory. No, but don't you think BBQ Plus, BBQC Plus is actually just every defamatory term that could come my way for enjoying barbecue?
I have to say on this, I have to touch on this. It's like I got it for the first time the other day, and I was in the slide. I was on my holiday in Portugal with my kids, just about to go down the flume. The log flume, and someone shouted to me, "Oi, barbecue cunt!"
No,
I was with my children, and I did laugh, But I thought, I don't know about this. So I shudder to think how you feel.
Well, yeah, I'm pleased you're getting some splashback. And actually, I think that's what we need to encourage here is, you know, share the load between the boys. You know, if you do see them out and about, see Steve or Crouchy, please feel free to...
Or don't.
I'm just going to touch on this one from Flo because, you know, Statman Steve can step up sometimes.
Yeah.
If you want stats, it's not a problem.
Have you got stats?
Well, if we're talking Premier League, you know, Alan Shearer, record goal scorer, 260. Petr Cech, clean sheets, 202. Ryan Giggs, assists, 162. Gareth Barry, most appearances, 652.
Oh, he's got... Hold on a minute.
This is like,
Manchester United, most Premier League wins. That was with 726.
Well, it's just... I absolutely blown my mind there.
That was good stat. You give good stat.
Yeah, look, if Flo needs it, it's here. There's as I said,
because all bases are covered.
There's an abundance of,
Andy can
of
rap.
knowledge.
Andy can rap.
But where is Statman?
Listen, we addressed that in the last pod.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, he's busy. He has got a real job. And we've got some exciting news. I think, you know, Statman Dave is going to be a huge part of something moving forward when the season starts. And I think, well, let's be honest, we're going to call it September when the kids go back to school because we've got more time on our hands there.
Yeah.
He's going to be involved in something big, which is going to involve all of us. And, you know, we're very excited to have him back in that.
Great. Let's do one more message. This is from Mateus or Matthias.
So,
hi, Crouchy, Chris, and the Notorious SID. Managed to convince my mate to come to Vanuatu with me with no context. I had one mission to complete while we were there. That's great. So they've managed to persuade a mate to just go along without even having to
explain. He didn't know why
explain.
he was going to Vanuatu. It was
That's
like
a
the fella
good
last
friend.
week who said he took his missus.
We went on a tour run by these local lads called Ricky and Charlie. Turns out they're massive football fans, both supporting opposite Manchester clubs, and even knew Crouchy as the tall one with the robot dance. Great stuff. I managed to pass the pod to them. They were excited to become your first Vanuatuan listeners. They taught me about Vanuatuan culture and history. I taught them about pancakes, barbecues, and how not to be a Carl. You've made it to Vanuatu. Right.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Matthias or Matteo. But like we were out there anyway. Like that's it. We didn't realise that, you know, we were out there. We had, but I appreciate him, you know, taking the time to go there and what an amazing thing to go to Vanuatu but you know, I think we were already there, weren't we, to be honest?
It feels like we're twinned with Vanuatu now. And we did talk about potentially making that an official partnership. And Pete did get invited by the ambassador of Vanuatu to a reception. Sadly, couldn't make it. But we will look to maybe formalise that relationship. I'd love to twin with them.
Yeah. I still have the Ferrero Rochers. I thought we were going to go to the ambassador's reception, but...
I don't think there's another town, city or country that's twinned with a podcast.
No. I'm not sure.
Now.
Not sure Vanuatu is twinned with anything, so we'd love to get out there.
If you would, Vanuatu, if you're listening, like to twin with this podcast, we'd love to be able to fly the flag for you over here.
Just when you arrive, you know, and it says, welcome to Vanuatu, twinned with that being great.
Yeah. But also
the
other
weirdest fucking welcoming.
But we'll have it on outside here as well.
Twinned with Vanuatu, yeah.
Twinned with Vanuatu.
Perfect. It's a match made in heaven. Right, should we fire into the pod, lads?
Let's do it. What are we talking about today?
Do you know what we're talking about today, Chris? We're talking about foreign leagues. You know, like there's so much going on with this Saudi kind of takeover, it seems like, at the moment. You know, the MLS, you know, Lionel Messi's gone out to the MLS. You saw him with, you know, with the not Sir David Beckham, which was amazing this week.
Not Sir David Beckham.
Wow. He just crept that one in, didn't he? Very good.
Not Sir David Beckham.
Well, he's not, is he?
Yeah. It's a true statement.
God, wouldn't it be great if he just changed his socials and everything to not Sir David Beckham?
It's going to happen, isn't it? Let's be honest. You know it's going to happen. But
I think they're finding it too funny. I honestly do. It will happen one day, but only when the joke wears so thin that... You know.
But you know what else as well? Obviously, I had a little stint in Sweden. And I had a few kind of rumours and opportunities to go abroad. But what I didn't know was Notorious SID. I actually didn't know you were out in Belgium.
Yeah.
When did you go there?
So it must have been my second year, my first year pro at Arsenal. I was about 19, and we just won the FA Youth Cup. Went out for the summer, come back pre-season. and went into Arsene Wenger's office, and he said, right, there's 4 of you that's going to go out to Beveren, which was their feeder club, their European feeder club, where they used to get the talent from Africa. So there was me, John Halls, Liam Chilvers, and Graham Stack. You obviously know Graham Stack.
I bet that was a quiet trip though.
So it was a heavy trip. I mean, it was we got given 2 apartments in Beveren, 2 cars, and we explored Belgium and other countries surrounding that. And training there was Yaya Toure.
Really?
Yaya Toure was actually at Beveren. We didn't obviously know him at the time. We knew Colo, he was at Arsenal. And Yaya was there to go to Arsenal. That was the feeder club before Barcelona.
What was he like as a player?
He was ridiculous.
Was a joke?
Yeah, even then he was just like, who is this creature?
Really?
Aboué was there as well. But I actually wasn't there long. I had done 3 months. Wasn't really playing. We had a few nights out. We drove to Amsterdam on one night from Belgium, and we was late for training the next day. Actually, the gaffer was okay. We actually told him the truth. We just said, look, we couldn't get back to training. We was in Amsterdam.
That's like doing. So you're basically saying it's like doing Amsterdam on a school night.
It was. And you can imagine, I think I was 19. I was 18 or 19 at the time. And I remember leaving home. I remember getting on the train at Croydon, and my mum gave me this suitcase. And it was, imagine like a full-size suitcase with home comforts. Yeah. I'm talking tins of soup, pot noodles, cans of Coke, crisps, everything English you can imagine was in there. I couldn't get this suitcase on the train, and I had to get the Eurostar over. It was a great time, great environment, great place.
Do you think it's good for you football-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't there long. I had done 3 months because I wasn't playing. I thought, you know what, I'm out of sight, out of mind. I'd rather come back, go back in the Championship or something like that and go on loan, which helped out and was benefit to me. But there was great because you can imagine 19 years old, you're in an apartment on your own where we were sharing, and you've got to grow up. You'll get to training.
But you talk about these sort of experiences, and it sounds for both of you when you play in a foreign league, it's an amazing experience, and it's kind of the living in a different country and a different setup around it, which is part of the learning experience. But is it harder to feel like you're playing for a team with passion compared to the teams that you played for, say, in the English leagues?
It didn't matter who you played for. At that time, you played to win, right? But like for me, obviously, my experience with Sweden, I went on the same thing where they give me a flat, they gave me a car, and I'd never moved. I hadn't even moved out yet. I was still living at home with mum and dad. So they give me a flat, give me a car, and it was like kind of, you had this freedom. We were training, it was like part-time. Like we were training every day, but we were training at like 3-4 o'clock. So we did enjoy ourselves. I'm not gonna lie, but we, the football was good. It was just like Swedish second division basically. It wasn't like elite.
Was it harder to say maybe get in with the fans or understand how you do that when you're so used to understanding how English fans work and what you need to do to get them on side?
Yeah, it's a different culture. I think. Well, for me in Belgium, I think Belgium are quite similar to English, aren't they? They like a beer, they love their football, they're vocal. So it was easy. I think once they see the way that you played. And that you was, because when you go on loan somewhere, it's like, does this player really care? He's going to go back to his team.
Yeah.
Is he giving everything? But once they see you performing, and then they take to you. So,
do you find that you both then follow those teams? Obviously, more
yeah,
like
100%. Yeah, I have Swedish people. I have Swedish people all the time coming over to me and go, like, IFK Hässleholm, let's be honest, right? It's in the middle of nowhere. It's the quietest little village you'll ever see in your life. But like, people from Sweden go like, IFK Hässleholm, and I'm like, yeah. Like, how did you find it? And they always ask
was you there for the season? You the whole stint?
3 months as well. So because their season is obviously continues after ours is finished. So I hadn't played much in the reserves. So Chris Hughton at the time said to me, I think it'd be good for you and Alton Thirlwell to go out and play out there. And we did. And we had a great time till he got a fucking girlfriend. Killed me.
Yeah. What, in Sweden?
He got a Swedish girlfriend. And then he was going to me, me and Camilla are going to go just watch a film tonight. Pardon? What am I going to do?
No.
What, like gooseberry on the couch?
Your partner in crime's gone.
Yeah. I had to go out with the Swedish boys, didn't I? I managed it. It was fine.
We have spoken about this. I remember there was some good stories.
It was all good. It was all good. Yeah. Do you have an opportunity to go abroad
playing?
Yeah, like when you were playing for
No. Do you know what? I don't think not that I explored it. I just don't think my style would have been good abroad. I mean, imagine me in La Liga or Serie A.
Did you have ambitions of that?
I wanted to do MLS towards the back end of my career, but it wasn't for a payday. It was actually to go and live. It would actually have gone to
just try and sample it.
Play, stay. My wife is all for going to the States. She loves America. So the kids were at a good age as well. We could have done it. And then I would have coached and stayed, worked and lived there. That was the idea. But injuries and so on and the broadcasting took off. So it never really materialised. But I think playing-wise, I never looked abroad because I would have been getting yellow cards and sent off, and I've had to adapt to my game, and that's just not me, is it?
I had the opportunity at the end there, didn't I, to go to, I thought I was going to Washington, and we'd looked at houses and all that, and because they said, we're going to get Wayne Rooney. We're going to go for Wayne Rooney, and if we don't get him, we'll go for you.
When was this, Pete? What year would this have been? I'm just trying to remember the timeline.
So I'd have been about 34, but I played till I was 38, but they said, they would have come for me if they didn't get Rooney. But I said to her, no chance, they're not getting Rooney. I said, anyway, so she was bang up for it. Right, she started looking at houses, and we were just going to have an adventure, and I was really looking forward to it. And it was like a 3-year contract as well. So I thought, right, let's go and embrace like Washington, And read all the houses and all that. And anyway, I was just watching the yellow bar come up on Sky Sports News, and babe, you can cancel that Washington trip. Bastard's gone. I was buzzing for it.
Did you really learn it from Sky Sports?
Yeah, I didn't have a clue.
That's where everyone sees it.
Yeah, I was like, no. I was gutted. And then obviously Ab knows Colleen, so she just forwarded on all these like nice houses and good in the areas. So
I've done the research.
And schools. And
Oh my.
She just forwarded it all on. And he's still out there now.
Lock, stock, ready to go.
Yeah, well, we were really excited about it. We were really excited about it. And there was a couple as well towards the end as well. When I was at Stoke again, there was a couple of there was Sampdoria and Genoa, I think it was. Obviously, which is in the same city, I believe. Sampdoria is Genoa as well. And I remember playing golf with Graham Souness, and because obviously he played for Sampdoria, didn't he? And I said, there's an opportunity maybe for me to. And I was a Sampdoria fan when I used to watch Gazzetta Football Italia because of Vialli. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, it just would have been amazing for me to have that opportunity to do that. And I remember Graham Souness saying it's unbelievable. He said, you will absolutely love it. He says, it's the best thing I ever did. Obviously, the league, I think, was probably more elite when Graham Souness went out there. I mean, obviously, the Premier League's probably taken over Serie A now, but it just didn't materialise.
Yeah. I think what you boys have been very lucky with, and we've talked about this on the pod a fair bit, is that you managed to experience that sort of old school football, as a lot of people would deem it, and then sort of saw football change and money come in, sort of rode that wave and was successful for yourselves. But I guess the flip side of that is you both sort of finished before the big money in these leagues and everything we're seeing now has really come into it and is able to draw players out.
But you know what? I think everyone says that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because the growth of football has been so big and it's continuing to grow. So whenever you retired, you missed out on the big money. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, you're right. Because it's an upward trajectory. You're right.
It's like, you can say, you'll say, when does it end? You know what I mean? Like,
so the thing is, I think with players going abroad, it's more hand in hand because you look at the style of player in England, very athletic, dynamic, everyone's an athlete. It seems like they can go abroad easy to any country. Whereas when we was probably playing, it was a bit more robust. We was probably a bit behind the times of La Ligas and Serie A's, whereas now we're on par, if not better. So we can go in. The players nowadays can go anywhere across the globe.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas I think when we played, it was a bit more. I'm not sure I'm suited to that.
Right, we're having another beer.
100%.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Let me scan this. What are we having, Pete?
We're having Elvis juice.
Elvis juice today. Great. Ordered, and now's the time for me to say this next part of the podcast is sponsored by Brewdog.
Elvis juice. Talk to me. What a name that is.
Elvis juice, king of Brewdog beers, if you will. It's an American style IPA. We're big time leading into the kind of California vibes here. So nice and bright, vibrant, sunny kind of idea. We're kind of on our third date at this point, so I think we can bypass all the pouring techniques. We don't want to see Sid's make an arse of it again. So I think
the problem we got, Ryan, is every time you come in here and then, because we're opening the cans, but we're also talking into microphones.
Yeah.
And we are drawing a bit of heat from people that watch this on YouTube and like, why can't they pour a beer? So, well, you try it with one hand into a glass.
With a glass as well.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. I'm going to go for it though. Talking of Elvis juice, can I ask why is it called Elvis juice?
So,
just poured that over it.
As I say, it's the king of beers. Okay, so we're leaning into the Americana side of things. Does anybody want to take a crack at what we're actually tasting there? Because I come in here and I tell you what you're tasting, but it's all very good and well me telling you. But what do you guys think?
Sweeter,
citrusy.
Yeah, great word.
Great beer buzzword. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is a bit citrusy, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is a grapefruit IPA.
Yeah, grapefruit IPA.
You're going to get a bit of orange peel in there as well.
Yeah, I can get that zest.
Yep.
I'm all shook up on that one.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Here we go.
Oh, I was caught in a trap there for a minute.
Little less conversation.
Let more drinking, guys. Let more drinking. The people that own the Elvis Presley estate weren't too keen on us calling the beer Elvis juice. So they got in touch and they said, right, you guys need to quit this now. So what the guys that started our company did was they went and changed their name by deed poll to Elvis, just to prove a point. There could be any Elvis we're talking about.
I had a dog called Elvis for a week.
There you go. There's your defence.
What do you mean for a week?
Well, we changed his name to Jeffrey.
Why'd you do that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You can't just change a dog's name halfway through, can you?
We called him Elvis, and then he just wasn't an Elvis. He didn't come on the Elvis command.
Mental. But then you said Jeffrey, and the dog came.
Yeah.
What made you go Jeffrey, though? Your dog's called Elvis.
Elvis to Jeffrey.
So many questions.
The poor dog must be so confused.
Imagine Elvis was called Jeffrey. Imagine this was Jeffrey juice.
Rolls off the tongue.
It's got a bit of a thickness to it, no? It's quite light, but it leaves that an aftertaste.
It's that kind of, it's almost that kind of, that pithy kind of flavour that kind of wraps around the tongue. You're going to notice that a beer with a little bit more strength to it. So we're 6.5% here. Oof. So we are getting into dangerous territory, guys. So not one to be drinking all day.
You've still got a bit more of a pod to record here.
That's it. But it's gonna lace the tongue.
Do you know what this reminds me of? I sang Elvis for one of my initiations. I think it was, I want to say QPR.
What, you chose Elvis then?
I went for Elvis, yeah.
Which one?
Suspicious Minds.
On a chair?
And I had to stand on a chair.
Yeah.
And then I did get the odd bread roll thrown at me.
Yeah. I have seen players, because 9 times out of 10 they always do it after a meal. So it'll be the meal of the evening. I've seen players not eating dinner because they're that nervous. It's like a best man speech, not eating dinner because they're worried about getting up and singing a song.
Do you want to sing a little bit of Elvis to celebrate the Elvis juice that we're drinking?
Not at all.
No?
No.
Not a bit? Ryan, do you think you should?
I mean, we're drinking the King's juice. There's no better way to celebrate it than Suspicious Minds.
You can't say that. We're drinking Elvis juice from Brewdog. Kate, Suspicious Mind.
Okay. Caught in the trap.
Yeah.
There's no way back. I have you too much, baby. Oh, why can't you see?
Why can't you see
what you doing to me?
what you doing to me?
I can't believe a word you say. We can go on together with suspicious minds.
With suspicious minds.
We build our dream together. How suspicious minds.
Sensational.
Oh, mate.
That is lovely.
Nailed it.
All right.
So good.
Fucking hell.
There we go, everyone. 2 sips of Elvis juice, and that's what
6.5%, mate. 6.5.
That's what Jeffrey juice does to you.
Maybe this is the right time to say this is Elvis juice. It's the king of the IPAs, but we want to know, what are you the king of? It could be doing an Elvis impersonation like Crouchy. It could be telling jokes. Maybe
Is that what it was?
You've got some mad skill. You know, when you're in those situations and people go, "What's your party trick?" It's that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone's got one in their locker. Whatever it is, we want to hear about it on the pod. And I do quite literally mean here. So if you go to our Twitter, which is @PeterCrouchPod, I've had nothing to do with this, but Crouchy, the tweet that's pinned at the top.
You can basically press record and record your voice, and you just send us a note from there.
Yes, a voice message.
Yeah, a voice message, yeah.
Okay, so go to our Twitter, and you might be hearing yourself on the podcast. So we need a skill that obviously you can do via voice note, and send it via our Twitter @PeterCrouchPod. Crouchy's got his voice message thing that's at the top there if you look for it. And then you can send it right through to us.
We can expect like songs and stuff.
I think it's a good point on this. It needs to be, audio,
isn't it? Yeah, it can't be a magician, like it can't be a magic trick.
So it's going to be songs.
If you disappear, you're fucked.
Yeah, so the best ones are going to win a 48-pack of Elvis juice. We want to hear from as many of you as possible.
If you go over to brewdog.com/crouch and buy a pack of Elvis juice, you'll be added in surprise draw for tickets to the next event we're hosting down at Brewdog Waterloo. So get buying, send your voice messages in, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, so let's talk the Saudi Pro League and some of the changes that have happened. Even this summer, they've been happening as well. And I guess kick things off, we all saw the transfer video, Gerrard to the Saudi League. It's brilliant. I don't know if you've seen, it's also been now photoshopped into all sorts of different situations as well.
That is good, isn't it? The memes are brilliant.
Memes are great.
Yeah, he's speaking Arabic, and he's obviously not. I don't think he's fluent in it.
Great to give it, great to give it a go though.
But he's had a go.
And then have you seen the footage from the training as well?
That's a bit harsh for me. Like, obviously, people that have been in the environment that will know what he's about. You know, he's put the ball down, he's asking them, you know, tell me that you want the ball. And then he's just sort of gone, right, fuck you, and give it to the other mob. But he's what he wants them to just be on it, be on training demand. And you would have seen it day in, day out. But that, again's gone viral for no reason for me. It's a bit harsh, that one.
And I think that kind of thing's off the back of the memes and things anyway.
Exactly.
And it's sort of connected in the head. But also, when you've talked about Stevie at training before, you've always talked about him wanting the very highest standard from everyone in training. So for me, it was just fascinating seeing him in sort of coach manager mode there and sort of leading training and the standard he's probably trying to instill.
Well, let's be honest, the standard's not going to be anywhere near what he's been used to, is it? You know, they're trying to make the league better, but it's not going to be anywhere near where he played.
And he knows that, obviously, going in. There's not a sort of false expectation, I don't think. But it's interesting, these moves for a lot of money. And I guess the general perception, fans like me that maybe aren't quite as informed and having the conversation with the people that are actually involved, is it's a lot of money to go and join a league, give it credibility, and that league grows. But it's huge money involved.
It is huge money. And, you know, a bit of an exclusive in terms of what's going on there. Michael Eminello, that was director of football at Chelsea when I was there, I see him the other week. We had to sit down with a catch up, and he's now gone there as, I think he's the director of football of the Saudi Pro League in general.
So he's the top dog there.
Well, he's the one that's basically going to be promoting it, getting the infrastructure right. And what he was stressing to me was that this is chalk and cheese to China. You know, this is not the Chinese league where they just threw money at it. There was no plan. They've got a process. They've got a plan. They want this Saudi Pro League to be like one of the top leagues in the world. Like, so Premier League, Saudi Pro League, Bundesliga, you know, Serie A, La Liga, you know, is competing with them.
You were having conversations with this fella, were you?
Yeah.
Sounds to me that... How much they offering you?
Well, no, I was passing the pod. Of course, because you know, if I'm there, we're all there. But you know,
fair play.
Good man.
I was going to say I was against it for a minute there, but you crack on.
The Saudi League want a podcast.
I'll do it via Zoom.
Do they want a podcast, Sid? Is that of interest?
Well, in all honesty, they haven't got a podcast out at the moment.
They need a podcast.
You know.
But no,
It's not burning our bridges just yet.
The seriousness of it is there really is a process and a project in place for this, and we know that there's deep pockets. What I can't get my head around is the amount of money that they're throwing around. So let's just say, for argument's sake, and we don't know this is true, but Jordan Henderson, 700 grand, right, a week, 100 grand a day. Surely they don't need to offer him 700. You know, he must be on a good whack at Liverpool. Why not 5? You know, why is it just got to be just so over the top?
I know, it is so much. I don't know, Chris, you know, if they said to you, right, you know, capital Arabia, right? 5 mil a year, 5-year deal, do you go?
Well, you've got to consider it, haven't you? You've got to consider it. I think this is it. There's obviously big money involved in this, and they're personal choices. Like I think a lot of people offered huge amounts of money in their respective jobs. It's at least something that you question in your brain, at the very least. And whether you choose to go do it or not, you know, that's a different discussion. I think what I find really interesting about this though is what players are targeted, what proportion of players of those that are kind of picked up or targeted to move over do actually move over.
Yeah.
And there's not really many players that are coming out and just ruling out playing there.
It's the younger ones.
It's not for us to say, by the way, right or wrong. I think that's a different podcast. No. I'm just interested to learn how they pick certain players that do go out there.
Yeah. I mean, there's loads of names, isn't there? Antonio was one for West Ham the other day that was mentioned.
Zaha.
I think they're trying to go for obviously names at the moment that they think they can get, and they're the ones that are probably towards the latter end of their career. That then will hopefully then set a standard, set a precedent for the younger ones to come. But I don't think people can question if players go there, start getting politics involved, because you go in there, you're not going there for politics, you're going there for purely a work relationship that you're going to go there and do your job and then go home to your family.
But the same people, right, own Newcastle, right? So if you go to Newcastle, it's I'm not saying it's the same thing, obviously, because
but there's a lot of links and a lot of clubs that.
But like I'm saying, if you've got a problem with the
we might need your political.
What's the difference?
Remember, I've got a politics.
Your degree should come out.
You should enlighten me.
I can navigate this for us, guys.
That's what I'm saying. You should squash questions and answers where we're going.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So where do you stand on it all?
Well, this is what I mean. But I think always the conversation with the league, and it's the right thing. The first filter of it is, where do you stand on promoting Saudi Arabia or sport, or this idea of, I'm not even just saying in terms of Saudi Arabia, I'm saying a lot of different countries and leagues, sport washing, issues like that. We can go into those if we want. But then I think we're on shaky ground, because these are very contentious political issues. But in just the footballing issues, I think it's fascinating working out what players. I think it's fascinating setting up a league and wanting it to compete with the highest other leagues. And then you're looking at, you're not just really trying to transfer footballers, you're trying to create a football culture that is understood by fans and a football identity. What do? Do you start transferring bootlegger as a fan out of Wrexham? Do you get Kitman Kev on a signing?
Does the Wilston Raider?
Do we get the Wilstone Raider out there? Like, and how much money is he going for? I mean, if they want to buy football from England, from the Premier League or the English leagues, I would love to see some offers coming in for some of the alternative people around football.
Portsmouth Football Club, Westwood. You know,
exactly that.
Ringing his bell.
And be there in their colours, new tattoos and everything as well.
Listen, one thing is for sure, it is here. We can see what they're doing in golf. They are here to take over. Yeah. I mean, and this is serious stuff. If they start getting more and more names out there and it starts becoming not legitimate, but more active, say, in terms of viewing and being able to watch it, then it's...
But you know what? Like the Chinese one just went away, didn't it? It was a weird one. That I remember we were in the dressing room with Marko Arnautovic, and I always remember it was so mad. He was at the prime of his life, And he said, I said, Marco, like you could go. I thought you could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I thought
that season as well.
I think he could have gone Liverpool, United.
Yeah.
I think he was top notch, really do. And he said, I want to go to China. I was like, pardon? I just want to get out to China. He was in it for the money. Yeah. And he was open about it. He just said, I just want to get paid the most in my career.
How do you deal with that when another player says that to you, and it's a very individual?
I was an older player, right? I was a lot older than him. He was probably 28 and I was probably 35, right? He was probably 26 probably. He was young. And I said, I think you're wrong. I don't think I think you should go. I said, I've played for Liverpool. I said, if there was rumours about, I said, if you got the opportunity to play for Liverpool, you'll have those memories forever, and you'll earn good, fantastic money. Like I just said to him, please do that. And he was like, no, I want to go to China.
Yeah,
like,
but it's all
you got to
different.
respect it.
There's all everyone's different. There's different motives. You don't know people's backgrounds, what they've grown up from, who they're supporting now, their support network, if they've got a supply for their mum, dad, family, brothers, sisters. And some people, everyone's motives are different. Some people will just be motive for money. Some people will be for football. Some people, as we know, players that we've played with, play football, don't even like the sport, but just get paid for it.
All right, but what about if you're a younger player? So let's say we're talking about well-established players that are maybe towards the end of their career still a big name.
If I'm honest.
If you're a younger player, there's potential that it doesn't necessarily help with your national team prospects. Like some of the things that I think growing up, you hope that the players that play in the national team really value and want to aim towards. But you think most young footballers want to play for their country, want to have those moments. Is there a case of cashing out early, and in that sense to be cashing out because it won't further some of those ambitions?
No, but you know what? You can't knock them.
It's so hard.
You can't knock them. Some of these people might be. I've had a real tough background. Like they may be able to look after not only their kids but their kids' kids and their kids' kids. Like that is their generate. Like somebody, especially I think it was who came out and said it. Koulibaly. I think he said, I'm from a tough place. You know what I mean? And like I can look after generations of my family and my whole entire village. Back home.
Yeah, that's what it's. They're hard questions to answer. It doesn't matter how rich you are or where you're playing or where you are at your career. If someone's dangling a contract or a check in front of your eyes to go, you're guaranteed this money. That's really hard to just go no.
But like what on the flip side of that is what I said was it's just a bit sad because you're just not gonna, I don't know, like just obviously the leagues are the Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga, you think the European leagues are probably the pinnacle at the moment, and it might change, and it probably will if they carry on. But at the moment, you're just going to lose kind of a career. You're going to get that legacy forgotten very quickly. But you will look after your family forever.
Back to the National League thing there as well. I think it really feels to me. It feels to me maybe from a fan's point of view, but I'd be interested to know what you boys think that having some players in the national team that play in other leagues is so beneficial. I'm thinking, look, he's phenomenal talent anyway, but say Bellingham and his experience in another league. Would you say that does have a positive effect on the national team? Like,
I think that's massive.
Or not? Do. It's a negligible thing.
No, I think it's like to go and play abroad, like get that kind of like experience. What a massive club like Real Madrid. I think it just elevates him to a new level. I think in playing for Real Madrid. Obviously, I wanted him to sign for Liverpool. That was potentially an option. I thought I would have loved him there. But I think Real Madrid was. I just think when you walk into an England dressing room and you play for Real Madrid, I just think it elevates you to another level. I think it puts him at kind of captain material. I think in the next 2-3 years, if he starts winning things for Real Madrid, it's like when he walks into a room, you go, that's Jude Bellingham of Real Madrid. It's like, it just puts you there.
Do you know what really excites me about him? And it's kind of maybe a bit how I feel about Gareth Bale as well, in that I really hope his career continues the way everyone is expecting and clearly the way he's handling it. He has this unbelievable career, but at some point, he can literally choose anywhere. And he's at that point of his career where he goes, doing Birmingham. And he comes back with the name on the back, the shirt number that was retired, comes unretired, back for him. And that could be a phenomenal moment. And I always thought or think that was kind of my expectation of what Bales did. To be fair, he kind of did it with the national team. He stuck with that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be an amazing thing? I don't want to wish away his career, but wouldn't it be amazing the moment he comes back to Birmingham?
I think a lot of players love to go back to their hometown club. I think there was a lot of stuff on Milner at the moment, weren't they? Going back to Leeds, possibly, went to Brighton. I think there's always that fairy tale end, go back to my team.
Crouchy, you know when you were looking for your house in Washington, and we've seen how the MLS has developed as well, or the perception of it as well. I think how it's embraced and what's happened with Messi and Ronaldo doing the Saudi thing, Messi coming and getting involved in Beckham's team, and it's interesting that this rivalry seems to now happen between the two leagues and how it's spoken about. It is a weird thing on social media where it's almost like you have to choose which league you're supporting or which one's better out of the two. It's funny how there is this little rivalry that's happened for two players that are in two totally different leagues.
I just think like,
and the rivalry's become the leagues.
It would have been like so kind of. I just assumed that they would have reunited that like Messi, Ronaldo kind of debate in their league. Like, what better way of promoting your league than having the two best players of our generation in the same league? I was thinking like how much like money have Miami offered him like for him to kind of, because they must have wanted that to happen.
No doubt there's going to be down the line a MLS All-Star team versus a
Saudi
Pro
Yeah, you reckon?
team. 100%, led by Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Do you know what I mean? That's going to just knock it into another dimension.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard this is the classic sort of pub chat, isn't it? But I heard every team in the MLS had to contribute some money towards the signing of Messi because it would be good for the league.
No.
Can you see that?
No.
Oh, I don't know where I've drawn that from. That is, I swear I heard that.
I called Messi going to Miami. I think it was a couple of years ago. Because Miami have got a big link with Adidas, haven't they? Obviously with Beckham, and Adidas sponsor Messi. And I was like, he's going to go to Miami, 1,000,000%.
Did Bex ever contact you to go join him?
I think I put a call into him actually.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Do you want to consider this another call as well?
I didn't hear back. Listen, I'd have been there. You know, Shawcross did it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went from Stoke to Miami. Not many have done it.
From Miami to Ibiza, that's the song, isn't it? From Stoke to Miami doesn't quite hit the same.
Miami to Wayne Lineker. I just want to go back to Washington when it was a possibility of you going there. Was there a chance of you being involved in a franchise, or was it just a playing?
No, it was just
sort
of capacity. To be honest. But like obviously the big hitters. I mean, Bex is obviously involved in a franchise. No doubt Messi will get a team. Something to do with, you know, kind of a franchise. But
what do you mean by that?
Well, you can franchise a team because you can take any team from any state and just pick them up and put them somewhere else.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's like you own the franchise.
But Inter Miami was a totally brand new team, wasn't it? It was just entered into the MLS.
Yeah.
If you got enough dough, basically, you can go, pin stars straight into Premier League.
See, that's my aim. If I can earn enough money, there's a couple of things. I really want to buy Watford. That's a whole podcast in itself.
Be the next deal.
I really would like to buy Watford. If anyone would like to partner with me, do you know what I mean? Like,
back it, you mean?
Back me.
You front it.
Taking over. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Anyone likes to backdoor you?
I'd love to do Watford, and sorry, I would like to elevate Penn Stars, local team, Penn, where I used to play for Sids, to as high as they could go.
Can I just say, you know, talking about Elton, I did have his details, and bizarrely he does get back to me quite often, but I emailed him.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to know what he said?
Yep.
What did you email him first?
I'll show you what I emailed him.
Did you please tell me? Did you try and book Elton John for Crowd
Yes.
Fest? You're hilarious. We're trying everything here, aren't we? People don't appreciate it.
They don't appreciate it. Do you know what's amazing? Is that he just got back to me really quickly.
Bear in mind, he's done Glastonbury. He's just finished arguably the greatest tour, the highest grossing money tour of all time.
Tell me,
and instead he'll do the odd bit here or there.
Tell me you put over and out. Please just tell me you put that.
So I put, I know you said farewell at Glastonbury, but do you have one last song available for Crouch Fest? That's what I said.
Unbelievable.
I said, hey, fair play to him. Come straight back. Sorry, Peter. I'm not here. I'm in America recording. Have a great concert of Elton.
That's not a no.
That's not a no, but it's a tricky email back, isn't it? It's like,
Well,
the problem is he hasn't asked for any detail on that. He's basically, I'm in America, have a great
No,
concert.
he's obviously going to pie me, but I'd had a few
of
beers
course,
and
of
I
course.
thought, you know what?
By the way, this is why get a ticket for Crouch Fest, because we cannot guarantee anything. That's certainly not the, you know, we're not, what we're trying to do here is book people in this sort of manner.
Well, I'd like
it's
to
a few drinks and an email out to them. So like, but that's
in an email to Elton John.
Yeah, but rest assured, we are fucking trying on everything.
There's a 0.5% chance there, wasn't there? And do you know what?
I really respect it.
Why not?
You're telling me there's a chance.
You know what? Talking of Crouch Fest, like I've been having, I have ideas every day, and I'm just like quite enjoyable. Some of them, and one of them I had was the whole Jose Enrique experience. I think we should get potentially Jose Enrique there, and one lucky listener could have the full Jose experience on stage. You know, consistently.
I love that.
Consistently, you know, ladies bringing him out vodka throughout the night.
Well, because last Crouch Fest we had a barman, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the only problem with it is they didn't have too much to do throughout the night. Like they would serve us drinks and that. But if we've got someone living the VIP experience, little red rope, maybe a bouncer stood there.
This is all coming together now. Do you know what? You know how Man United, have you seen how they do the experience on the sofa? Why don't we get...
Yeah.
They have that at Watford, don't they?
Why don't we get...
Do they?
Yeah, at Watford, they have that thing where you on a sofa in the corner of the
Why
ground.
don't we get like a sofa?
Behind
Like,
glass, though, that.
Is it?
Is it?
no, this one's
The Man U
experience
was
outside.
like in the terrace on a sofa.
So why don't we possibly get a sofa around the stage or somewhere with a VIP experience? Kitman Kev, if he's still about, you know, I'm not saying he needs to lug that sofa on the stage himself, but he could be the bouncer.
that'd be a nice touch,
Have you seen the ones they do at the cricket with the infinity pools at the cricket? Right.
Hot tub on
So you
stage.
get a hot tub on stage,
fucking
right?
hell, imagine
Wow.
Right. He's in there. One lucky listener is in there, full champagne experience. Few ladies in the hot tub with him, living a dream on
The
stage.
whole of Wembley Arena in front of you in a hot
Whole
tub.
of Wembley Arena.
That could
You're
be
in
you
the
listening right
Speedos.
now.
That could be you. You could be on your way to work now. Just think.
That's
November the 4th, you could be sat there, right? Load of ladies in the.
Why is, how are we going to do? How are you going to deal with that? Yeah, you can choose. Why don't we say you can choose what you'd like to be surrounded by?
Yeah. I mean,
Do you know what I mean? Because
Within
then
reason.
then it's not. Then
Within reason.
reasonable requests only, please. Obviously, this is fraught with problems. So,
It probably can't happen.
but I think but we shouldn't impose what say, for example, we would want in an imaginary situation that we won't be in.
Yeah.
We should allow people to live
express
out their
themselves.
ultimate.
Yeah, someone might want
kind
to sit
of-
in a bathtub full of beans.
live the Jose Enrique lifestyle.
Yeah, to whatever extent you would like, and we just want to facilitate that.
I'd like it to involve a hot tub on stage personally.
agree.
And I think, for most of the evening, you could just have your own section. We'll bring you drinks all night and just enjoy it from the stage, basically.
Although, I mean, I'm only saying if this is what they'd want, but let's say like a stereotypical music video which involved a hot tub did have, I'm thinking like Charlie Sloth-esque videos. There's a lot of girls around there. I do think it would be quite funny just to, if they wanted to be involved, have 6 or 7
Individuals.
But I agree. I agree.
Genuinely no other agenda here. I just think it would be good for the aesthetics of a VIP experience.
Well,
and if you want 7
the way I'm
fellas
looking
as well,
at it-
That is some VIP experience.
The way
by
I'm
way.
looking at it is like big pimping, like Jay-Z.
That's what I'm
Like,
imagining.
big pimping, spending G's, sitting in the jacuzzi.
Like Jose Enrique.
Living the Jose Enrique lifestyle.
Yeah.
That he does on a daily basis.
Jose Enrique with this special.
What about Jose
lucky-
Enrique halfway through enters the tub, with a bottle of champagne or something like that?
Fantastic. Well, listen, it could be you.
I guess what we need to hear from people, what's your fantasy hot tub situation? And we'll try and complete it for you.
Perfect.
And it could even be like, go random. It could be like, look, I would love to be there. But for me, my Jose Enrique experience would be me in a hot tub with Wayne Lineker serving me drinks. Don't rule it out. Like, we can make shit happen.
Send in your dream hot tubs,
fantasy hot tub situation, okay?
And potentially there's one person listening now who's going to have the full Jose experience.
We're not doing groups of mates either. I think it needs to be one. It needs to be one Pete. It's Jose Enrique. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one.
It's so much more powerful if it's just one person that steps up to be in a hot tub on stage and enjoying the show from, I mean, it's mental.
From the stage environment.
peter.crouch@acast.com or get in touch with us via the socials. Fantasy hot tub experience for Crouch Fest. Right, we better go. Good pod today, guys.
Enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Good one. Chumbawamba, everyone.
Chumbawamba.